Like a pig rooting in dirt. Make the griff, ain't ya? Oh yeah. Love that snoot, buddy. Ooh, look at that snoot. Yeah, you got a dirty snoot now, huh? Yeah. That's okay. You can't get up here. You're just a little dog. Okay, I'm gonna take this cover off and see if I can get this blown hose out of here. Replace them both. Get this old D9er going. Got a broken off one there. Ooh, that's nasty. Might have to get the thing cleaner in there. Wow, I don't. Man, oh man, oh man. Dave, you might be right. I don't know how you'd ever. How in the world would a guy ever do that? I bet I will have to tilt the cab back. That's just awful. That's awful. Well, if I gotta do it here, I guess I gotta do it here. The two hoses I need to get to are right there. And I just don't see how. You got a brace in the way. You would just, I don't know that you could ever get to those bolts. Dave, I guess you're right. I ain't changing those without tilting the cab back. To make this extra difficult, they ran the hoses through the grab bar. Then ran the starter electrical lines around it. So I was hoping to get it off in one piece without cutting the hoses or undoing them right there. That's not going to happen. We're going to be undoing them or cutting them. Cutting torch. Uh-oh. Okay, so these right here, this bracket right here bolts to the frame, and this is your part of your rollover protection. And if you're going to tip the cab back, you undo these feet. If you're going to take it clear off, you can undo these. But since these are all new bolts and somebody been in here before, I just thought I'd take this whole thing off. And then when I lift the canopy, it'll just all come off with it. So I've got my disconnect unhooked, my filler pipes, trying to get oil level gauge. So right here on this is supposed to be a lever that goes down to the brakes. So when you put the safety on to keep it from going gear, it sets the brakes, but the rod's gone. So I've got the steering clutch levers and the brake levers and the throttle lever unhooked on the floor, the gauge cluster. I got the AC unit out of the roof, took the crane to pull it off because they glued it on. Oh, about freaking went on my head there. Sheesh. So the only other thing I got to do in here is go get the ripper lever and the dozer lever off those rods. Then I think I'm ready to hook up a chain and start coming off. Might have to pick some weight off before that's coming out. Like my crooked nut. The nut's hanging crooked. Hope we don't die. Tip truck over. Nothing, it don't look like. Yep. Probably should take this off. It's kind of tough getting all that throttle stuff around the gauges. Oh wow, there it is. Oh, everything's leaking. My plan was to steam and get these hoses changed, and then I was hoping I could get it running, pull it out there somewhere and get the blade off of it. I don't know, lots of problems to solve just yet. Okay, there she is, bald-headed. About tipped the little service truck over, trying to get it over here. Anyway, it's off. That's a heavy old cab. Not near as heavy as the G1, but still heavy. So I got it on the ground here. Take Jake's 88, pick it up and move it. Gonna have to get all the windows out of it, blast it inside and out, paint it, fix the giant hole in the roof. That's cool, ain't it? Weld up all the bolt holes. Oh, what a long day. Boat 10 is out. She's plugged up. Mr. Yellow Man. I am one dirty guy. So, I think I got it clean enough to start working on now. What do you think, Mr. Griff? Huh? He's been out here barking at me. Boys got their tranny back in. They had to put it in without the filter housing on because you can't get to the bolts that mount it. And then they got a cover up there on the PTO, that green Terex cover. Anyway, they've been doing that. And then I have been given the 9 a bath up here. Let's go have a look-see. So I got this cleaned up in here. And the 2 hoses that have got to come out are right there. One behind the other one. There's actually 1 new hose in here, but everything else is junk. Everything. And I think counting the lines that go back to the ripper valve and the ones that go to the ripper cylinders, there's 14 hoses. Anyway. The one hose that I hope isn't bad is the main suction hose. That's that great big one right there. And I'm betting money that's a cat only one. They'd have to get it from cat. That'd take one heck of a crimping die to build that one, but I don't know. He didn't look too bad, so maybe I'll get to keep him. But yeah, this is gonna be fun. So, what's my plan here? So there's only 2 bolts holding the fuel tank on. Not that it was designed that way, but that's all that's left in there. All the rest of them are gone. And the motor mount bolts over there are sticking up, so they got a problem there. So at this point, I'm considering just lifting the fuel tank off, and then I can really finish cleaning things up. And probably start taking lots of pictures, because I don't know where all these holes, how I'm going to remember where they go. And then pull the hydraulic tank and the valves assembly and everything off, open the tank up, clean it out, reseal the valve, and then start building hoses, replace all those, clear back to the ripper. And while that's all off, once I get that done, go ahead and open up the left steering clutch, because the pinion seal's bad and it's overfilling the left vinyl. And depending on what I see inside that steering clutch, if the brake bands are good and everything looks good, the cross shaft bearings look good, ring gear, pinion, all that looks good, then the pinion seal gets replaced and the cover goes back on. Pull the cover off the other side and inspect it, put it back together. Worst case, be pulling the steering clutch out to redo the brake band and hopefully not replace steering clutch discs. Once that's done, converter has got to come out. I didn't find a lot of aluminum particles in that filter, and that could have been from a previous deal, but I think I need to get it out and go through it. Once it's out, might as well take the transmission, because it's way easier to pull that tranny out with the converter going. It gives you lots of room. Take it out, have a look-see at it. Hopefully all it would need is like resealed and bearing. Put it back in, put the converter in, and there we go, that's done. There's not one chrome rod on here that's any good, I don't think. There might be 1 or 2 back here, but that one there doesn't look bad, and one over there, but these 2 bottom ones got rust on them, so those need fixed. And I think the 2 front lift cylinders will have to have new rods put on them, because they're gouged so bad. I don't really think they're repairable. Stuff like that, you can't re-chrome that. And then the one over there's got some bad gouges. So I think I'm gonna call my friend Andy over in Boise and have him redo those. That's what I'm gonna do. So a lot of work to do here. Not looking forward to it. And where she's sitting here with blown hose and no oil in the hydraulic tank, and where I pretty much got to go through the whole hydraulic system, I think I'm going to do it right here. I am considering undoing the dozer blade and go get Jake's 88, pull it away from the blade, then take his 88 and move it. And then once the boys have their truck out of the way moving, I'm just going to drag it up in here where I can get to both sides of the service truck. And I'm just going to start tearing components out right here. I've done it outside my whole life. Might as well do it again. Just have to get big tarp and cover it up while it's opened up.